Hi buddies, Jose at Wire Ninjas. We build systems and circuits of integrity. We're also Dreamedia's preferred partner in New Jersey. Now, today we're in Monroe, New Jersey, where we're going to show you how to wire on-wall speakers. So, for example, we have this already mounted on-wall speaker here. We have one mounted here. Now, how do we wire them? We need to conceal the wires in the process. We just want to see beautiful speaker. We don't want to see wires. So that's what we're going to show you today. We're going to show you our process for how to get the wires behind the speaker. Let's take a look. Alright gang, so we're going to show you how to wire these things up. Now, step one is to remove the recently beautifully mounted speaker. And then we're going to have to take some measurements, and then we're going to make some holes as well. So, let's get this speaker down in a safe spot. We'll put her here, and then we can take some measurements. So we have our handy tape measure here. Now, from the mounting hardware, I'm going to measure down to the speaker terminals. That's from the top, it's about 7.5 inches exactly. I want the wire to come out about 7 inches. A little gap here, a little bit of room. So I'm going to take this measurement, throw it on the wall now. So from the mounting hole, I can hit 7 inches, right? 7 inches down, I know I want a hole for the wire to come out of. So we're going to go ahead and just draw in a little box. You can do this with a drill bit, and a little oscillating saw, anything like that. I'm just going to draw myself a little box and keep things simple for you and me. Grab my drywall knife and make a hole. Now, even if you're not using a saw, please be careful. There's electrical wiring running up and down this thing. You only want to sink the knife a certain amount. So I'm barely sinking the knife here. I'm going to fill in my little hole. I'm going to cut that out. This may be a little tight still for the snakes to get through, but we'll take a look and we'll see how that plays out. Now I'm going to take this up just a little bit so that the snake has a little bit of room to breathe. So we're going to triangle this out right here, just for when I want to pass that wire through. And the other thing is, a little pro tip here, I'm going to shave the inside of the drywall, not the painted outside, but just the inside. I'm going to cut at an angle with the drywall knife and shave out the inside to like a diagonal edge. And what that does is it gives me a lot more room to play with inside while not making this hole any bigger than it has to be. So we have one hole, which you could call the origin. Now we have to establish a destination. This wire is actually going to go up and through the header and then go back to my rack. So we're going to show you how to get the wire concealed from the speaker all the way back. How you take your wire back to the rack, that's up to you. But the next step we need to do is make a cut at the top so we can drop our wire through this smaller hole. So we're going to hit the stud finder first. We're going to take a look at what we have for studs. I already know there's one to the left here. I'm definitely going to avoid that, but it's always good to mark out your studs to make sure you don't run into anything. Make sure you have a clear path. The next thing I'm going to do, particularly because I know this has to go up and through the ceiling, I'm going to start drawing a little cutout here for myself. I'm using the stud finder to keep things simple and keep this rolling for us. You can use a level. A level is definitely more appropriate. I like to make clean, level lines when I make my cutouts. Use a level, make sure she's level. And that's pretty level right there. So we're good anyways. Let's keep it tight and do what we have to do. So level, level. And then I always like to leave a little gap so when I'm spackling this thing, I have somewhere to work the knife. You see that area up there? I want to keep that area nice and clean. Also, there's been taping and stuff like that. We don't really want to mess too close to the actual header. So let's get this thing cut out. Before we do so, another pro tip here, I like to mark my cutouts. That way you're not playing Tetris, trying to figure out what cutout goes where and what the orientation is. So we're going to mark that cutout with an A as well as orientation. Now, again, we normally run the vacuum when we're making any cuts, but for the video's sake, we're just going to cut this out for you guys. Go up. Before I make that final cut, I'm gonna grab the drywall so she doesn't fall inside the wall. There we go. So a nice and clean cut. And again, you remember I said there's electrical back there here. See that electrical? You wanna be very careful where you're poking the knife. You only wanna go so deep through the actual drywall. You know what I'm saying? This is what I mean by depth. All right. Of course, we got a nail there for no reason. That's pretty funny. Anyways. Now, let's get a snake running through here, which I prepared some snakes for us. Here we go. So now we can run a snake up. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This wall is, dude, I don't know what they did with this wall. It's ridiculous, though. Yep. Okay. Damn, dude. All right. So with the helping hand, I guide my snake up through the hole. Now I have a snake through both sides, right? Now I can tie in some speaker wire. So we're gonna use some simple electrical tape, tape the wire to the snake, and pull the wire through. Oh, this is exactly what I meant. You see this? We need about an inch for this metal head. This don't bend at all. So we need a decent sized hole to get this snake through. Now we can use a different snake and fiddle around and do this differently, but we like to be efficient here on site. And to me, you know, adding a 1/2 inch or a 1/4 inch to a hole is not a big deal. I'd rather get her done, you know? So we're gonna take this wire off the snake. And then this end, you gotta run this all the way back to the rack. Now, every home's gonna be different, every rack's gonna be different. I'm trying to show you guys how to literally conceal the wire behind the speaker. And this is how we do it. Smaller hole here, bigger hole up here. Get your wire up and through, and then I'll give you an example. I'll sacrifice some wire, even though I hate to waste things. We gotta make our little videos for you guys. So this wire is going back to the rack. Let's all assume or get hypothetical. Now this wire can be terminated, which means I'm gonna get her ready for the speaker. Good to go. Bang, 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 bang. Come on, buddy. There you go. Very cool. Now we can grab our speaker. Now you can't use bananas with this method. They just simply won't fit. If you want to use bananas, you're going to have to cut out a much larger portion of the wall. To me, there's nothing wrong with a screw terminal. I'm sure some of you will disagree, but if there was something wrong with a screw terminal, they probably wouldn't put it on the speaker. Maybe you could agree with that at least, that sentiment. You know what I'm saying? So, to me, screw terminal is just fine. It also allows you to be discreet and clean with the wiring. Not have to make any special modifications. So we're going to screw our little wires down into the terminals, and then simply replace the speaker on the wall. Let's get her on without looking too silly. That's nice and snug. That's beautiful. And that is how you wire up a speaker. Look at that. She's beautiful. No wires to be seen. So my goal was to show you exactly how we do it. When we throw a circuit behind a speaker, that's how we do it. Now the rest of this has to traverse a long way back to the rack. I think that's another video. I think it's important to show you guys what we did here today. Let's take a good look at that. If you really want, you could throw a little piece of spackle on there, seal up this hole with some some electrician's duct seal or something like that, but depending on the wall, you may not need to. But in the end, all you're gonna see is this beautiful speaker on the wall. And I hope you found this useful. I really appreciate you guys watching. I'm trying to make some good stuff for you guys, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.